A secret investigation by Radio Canada just exposed a shocking truth. Much of the fresh meat sold in supermarkets may have been stored longer than you think. Hidden cameras caught multiple violations in temperature control, labeling, and hygiene at major chains. Worse, consumers get no warnings. If you've trusted the clean look of meat display cases, it's time to rethink. Comment 1 if you've ever shopped at these 5 supermarket chains. 1. Walmart. Cheap prices, costly health risks. Walmart's long been synonymous with everyday low prices. But if you're grabbing meat there just to save a few bucks, you might be trading your health for savings without even knowing it. A 2018 Consumer Reports investigation stunned shoppers. Walmart-branded chicken contained alarmingly high levels of bacteria. Not just any bacteria, some could cause serious gut infections if not cooked thoroughly. Experts even advised washing hands after touching the packaging, as contamination could spread to kitchen surfaces, cabinet handles, or your phone while cooking. The real issue lies deeper in Walmart's operations. They partner with low-cost meat suppliers known for cutting corners, cramming livestock in tight spaces, and speeding up slaughter to slash costs. The result? That bargain meat might come with risks to quality, freshness, and safety. Ever notice Walmart's fresh meat section isn't as cold as it should be? Safety standards demand meat be kept below 40 degrees Celsius, about 4 degrees Celsius. Yet, spot checks at multiple Walmart stores found temperatures fluctuating between 45 and 50 degrees Celsius, a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. This is especially risky if you grab meat early in your shopping trip, then let it sit in your cart or car for dozens of minutes before getting home. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Walmart's meat packaging often gets low marks, flimsy wraps, easily torn bags, and missing or misleading labels. A 2022 survey of thousands of consumers ranked Walmart dead last among major retailers for meat packaging quality. Some joke that Walmart's meat wraps protect less than tissue paper in the rain. Many have paid a price for these short-term savings. Family dinners turn disappointing with tough, flavorless meat. Some even report indigestion, stomach pain, or mild food poisoning from meat that wasn't fresh. All for a few dollars you thought you saved. Even setting health aside, Walmart isn't ideal for those who value taste. In blind taste tests, Walmart's beef and chicken consistently rank last for tenderness and flavor. Shoppers describe their steaks as rubbery or tasteless as dishwater. A dinner party with Walmart meat might end in letdown for both the cook and the guests. Another overlooked factor: store layout. Walmart's massive stores force you to push your cart through dozens of aisles to reach checkout. That meat you picked up early sits at room temperature for at least 15-20 minutes, plus the drive home. It's a short step from there to spoiled food. In short, Walmart's low prices can be a trap for budget-conscious shoppers. Behind the tempting deals lie serious questions about process, hygiene, and accountability. The consequences may not hit immediately, but they build quietly with every deal you chase. If you care about meal quality and your family's health, it's time to rethink shopping at Walmart, especially at the meat counter. Saving a few bucks could cost you far more in medical bills, sick days, or simply a ruined meal. The choice is yours, but knowledge is power, and now you have it. 2. Whole Foods. Flashy but overpriced. Warm lighting, gleaming meat counters, friendly staff, and signs boasting organic, grass-fed, and local farm. Whole Foods feels like a haven for clean, upscale, ethical food. But beneath that shiny surface lies a less glamorous story that might make you pause before pulling out your wallet. Let's start with price. A study across 10 major cities found Whole Foods meat costs 60% to 90% more than at mainstream chains. A pound of ground beef can rival a restaurant dinner's price. At that cost, you'd expect exceptional quality, but reality falls short. The first shock hit in 2015 when a New York Times investigation revealed Whole Foods mislabeled meat weights, overcharging customers up to $4 per pack. Lax scales and internal checks led to over $800,000 in fines in New York alone. And that wasn't the last scandal. In 2019, former employees from 5 stores disclosed managers relabeled regular meat as organic or grass-fed during shortages. You might have paid extra for premium labeled meat that wasn't. When trust is manipulated, you lose not just money but the reason you chose Whole Foods. Even beyond labeling issues, is the quality worth the price? A blind taste test showed Whole Foods organic chicken ranked below standard chicken from 3 other major retailers. That premium flavor didn't impress culinary experts. Whole Foods leans on a psychological trick called the health halo. The clean eating vibe makes shoppers more forgiving of high prices. Many leave with a $90 bill and 1 cut of meat, feeling they've done good for their health and the planet. But often, they're paying for a feeling, not real value. Food safety isn't flawless either. California inspections found 40% of meat counter checks over 3 years flagged temperature or hygiene issues, a surprising rate for a gold standard brand. The local label also stretches credulity. Many local products at Whole Foods travel up to 400 miles, about 640 kilometers, far enough to cross state lines, hardly the farm next door. Most shocking? Independent experts found nearly 20% of Whole Foods' grass-fed meat showed signs of grain feeding. Is grass-fed real or just marketing? When you pay extra for ethics that might not exist, it's not shopping, it's manipulation. To be clear, Whole Foods isn't terrible. Their standards are above average. But the flashy prices don't always match superior quality. With scandals piling up, trust erodes daily. For truly clean food, consider smaller stores with direct producer ties. Or, at big chains, scrutinize labels, ask about sources, and don't let golden lights or buzzwords sway you. Sometimes, you're not buying better meat. You're buying overpriced belief. 3. Aldi, dirt cheap prices, rock bottom quality. Aldi is a paradise for deal hunters, where a bag of fresh groceries might cost half what you'd pay elsewhere. But the savings at checkout can come at a cost to your health, cooking experience, and trust in the food you bring home. Aldi's unbelievably cheap prices aren't magic. They're the result of slashing costs at every step: staff, supply chains, and packaging. A 2021 report revealed Aldi's U.S. stores rely on just 7 main meat suppliers. Compare that to rival chains with 35 to 50 partners, ensuring diverse sources and better quality control. With so few suppliers, spotting and fixing issues is tougher, if not near impossible. Aldi's lean operations also mean understaffing, especially in sensitive areas like meat coolers. A field study at 25 stores found meat counter temperatures swinging up to 12 degrees, nearly 6.7 degrees, daily, well above safe levels for fresh food. This fluctuation creates a bacterial breeding ground, especially for ground beef, the most perishable meat. Another tactic. Aldi sells thawed frozen meat labeled as fresh. Technically legal if done right, but reality differs. Former employees say some batches freeze and thaw 2 to 3 times before reaching customers, ruining texture, nutrition, and safety. Taste? You don't need a chef to notice the gap. Blind tests from 2018 to 2022 ranked Aldi's beef last for tenderness, flavor, and texture. Shoppers called Aldi's ground beef mushy, tasteless, or rubbery. Steaks? Tough enough for shoe soles. Chicken fares slightly better but has issues. A pack of breasts might include wildly uneven sizes, making even cooking a nightmare. One piece overdone, another half raw. Staffing is a fatal flaw. With nearly 60% annual turnover, Aldi constantly trains new workers, including meat handlers. The result? Temperature checks, stock rotation, and contamination prevention often falls short. One employee said temperature logs were ceremonial, skipped during busy hours. Aldi's cost-saving packaging is another disaster for food safety. Thin, tear-prone wraps let bacteria spread between packs. A 2022 independent test rated Aldi's meat packaging the thinnest and leakiest, allowing air and germs to breach essential barriers. The real red flag isn't one issue, it's the whole system. From supply chains to staffing, quality control is stripped to the bone. Even with low prices, the risks outweigh the savings. Aldi's fine for noodles, frozen veggies, or bottled water. But what about tasty, safe meat for your family? Think twice. In the savings game, cheap isn't always smart. That meat might save a few bucks. But if it risks food poisoning, a ruined meal, or your loved one's health, It's a price too steep for a bargain. 4. Safeway silent recall notices. In retail, mistakes happen. But how a supermarket handles those mistakes, especially with food, reveals its ethical standards. For Safeway, the problem isn't just waves of meat recalls, it's the eerie silence that follows, which is far more troubling. In 2014, Safeway recalled beef across 7 states over suspected E. coli contamination. This wasn't a minor glitch. It was a serious health risk, potentially affecting hundreds. In 2018, they recalled pork for mislabeled ingredients, a danger for allergy sufferers. Then, in 2020, another recall hit, this time for ground beef possibly containing plastic or metal shards. The question is, were customers clearly informed? Sadly, the answer is no. While chains like Costco, Kroger, or Whole Foods post recall notices at entrances, send emails, or alert via apps, Safeway opts for a bafflingly discreet approach. Notices often hide in obscure corners of their website with no proactive outreach. You have to know to look and know exactly what to look for, something most shoppers don't do. A 2022 survey found only 15% of Safeway customers were aware of the latest recall, even though they shopped during the event. The other 85% had no clue they might have brought home dangerous products. For seniors who use social media or tech less, the risk is even higher. They're left completely in the dark. Former Safeway employees revealed some stores got official recall notices 3 days after the order was issued. For 3 days, hazardous products sat on shelves, a ticking time bomb in hundreds of kitchens. When pressed, Safeway's reps insisted they comply with legal recall regulations, technically not breaking the law. But that doesn't mean it's good enough. There's a chasm between following rules and truly prioritizing customer safety. Another issue is repetition. This isn't a one-off. Since 2014, Safeway has faced at least 5 major meat recalls. Each time, there's rarely a store announcement, no texts, and no in-store speaker alerts. Letting it slide seems to be their habit. To be clear, product recalls are normal. Every big chain faces them. But clear, proactive, transparent communication is the bare minimum a responsible retailer owes its customers. Safeway's falling short, and it's concerning. Many trust Safeway because their stores look clean, staff are polite, and they're in upscale neighborhoods. But that outward charm can breed complacency, making you forget information is your first line of defense. When that's skimped, everything else is just risk. If you buy meat at Safeway regularly, ask yourself, are you overlooking hidden dangers because you weren't warned in time? If this keeps happening, is this brand still worth your trust? In the food world, where every purchase can impact health, silence is never the right choice. Safeway's quiet approach has too often left shoppers as victims. It's time for clearer voices, from Safeway itself and from savvy consumers like you. 5. Dollar General, a haven for thawed meat and faulty equipment. When shoppers head to Dollar General, they often expect one thing, saving a few bucks. But what they bring home could pose serious health risks, especially when it comes to frozen meat. This budget chain is rapidly expanding its fresh, frozen, and refrigerated meat offerings. But behind that growth lies a host of issues no health-conscious shopper can ignore. A recent USDA report revealed a staggering fact. Over 75% of Dollar General stores inspected failed basic meat safety standards. Not 7%, not a handful, 3 out of 4 locations nationwide. This isn't just shocking. It's a glaring sign something's deeply wrong. The biggest issue? Failing refrigeration systems. At many stores, freezers and coolers malfunction, causing wild temperature swings, perfect for bacteria growth. A former regional manager disclosed that Dollar General freezers break down, on average, twice a year, with repairs sometimes taking weeks. Meanwhile, meat sits inside and often stays on sale. A viral 2021 social media image chilled viewers. Chicken packages sweating with condensation due to overly warm freezers. Worse, instead of discarding them, many stores kept selling the meat as if nothing was wrong. It's not just equipment. Staffing is a weak link too. Most Dollar General stores run on just 1 or 2 employees. With heavy workloads and minimal training, few have the knowledge or time to monitor temperatures, rotate stock properly, or remove spoiled products. A consumer watchdog survey found 62% of employees didn't know the minimum safe temperature for fresh meat, and nearly 50% didn't know what to do if meat was stored unsafely. When the people in charge are clueless, chaos follows. Store layout makes things worse. Many locations place freezers near entrances, where constant foot traffic causes temperature fluctuations, or near heating vents, overworking the units. Some even sit in direct sunlight, a nightmare for refrigerated goods. Another concern is the murky supply chain. Dollar General often buys from opportunistic distributors, sources rejected by bigger chains or nearing expiration. These products are snapped up at rock-bottom prices, then shipped to stores, sometimes enduring days without stable temperature control. One anonymous food expert called Dollar General's supply chain nearly untraceable. Packaging is no better. Dollar General's meat wraps are the thinnest allowed by regulation, prone to tearing and leaking, inviting bacteria. In a 2022 packaging safety test, their meat products had the highest bacterial penetration rate among surveyed supermarkets. Most surprising? The price difference isn't huge. A price comparison showed Dollar General's meat is only 10 to 15% cheaper than larger chains, yet the health risks are exponentially higher. Meanwhile, stores like Kroger, Publix, or Trader Joe's, though slightly pricier, invest heavily in quality, storage, and transparency. This begs the question, is saving a few cents worth risking your family's safety? Dollar General might work for batteries, toilet paper, or dry goods, but for meat, think twice. Sometimes cheap is the loudest warning. If you've ever been tempted by too good to be true meat prices at Dollar General, remember, the only thing frozen might be their safety standards. Choosing food is never simple. Every store has strengths but also pitfalls to watch for to ensure health and meal quality. This video sheds light on overlooked factors when buying meat. If you found this helpful, subscribe to join us on a journey to smarter, safer shopping every day.